Okay, so bubble number 6 is about debugging some code. So we're supposed to debug some of the variable code that we have here. One thing I want to point out is that you have been given a new command, which is the write command. It is very similar to the console.log command, except whatever is written will not be written down here. It's actually going to display on the screen of the app. So it's the same concept, it just places the text in a different spot. Okay. Remember that if you come across a command and you don't know what it does, you can hover over it and you get a little bit of a description here. But if you click here, you get the API, which gives you a lot more information about how the command works and stuff like that. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the exercise. So it says it wants you to solve the problem. So this is the output that we should end up with after we debug the program. So we are to fix the code. So let's go ahead and run it. It says run the starter code, so let's go ahead and run it. And we immediately get an error that says something's wrong with line 5. The error down here says syntax error, unexpected token. As I said before, errors can be a little difficult to kind of understand. But this one has a good keyword, which is syntax. When you see the word syntax, that means that you're doing something wrong in the code in regards to like a semicolon, you wrote something wrong, maybe you spelled something wrong, things like that. They're not logical errors. Syntax errors are going to result almost always in the red square, which means your program is not going to run, it's going to crash. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on here. I'm going to make this bigger. So the first line is declaring a variable. So we have variable, its name is score, and it is assigned the value of 7, right? Then we have a write command, which is literally going to write this text over here on our app. Notice that this is in quotes. So literally the words the value of score is in a colon, it's going to be printed onto our screen. Line 3 says write, and it also has the word score in quotes, so the word score is going to be printed on our screen. Line 4, is another variable named lives, and it's assigned the value of 20. Then we have the write statement, which says the value of lives is. It does not have quotation marks. So when you don't have quotation marks inside of a write statement or a console.log statement, the computer assumes that it's a variable, okay? And we stated this before. So it assumes that the value of lives is the name of a variable. And then this is write, and it's going to write the word lives because it's in quotation marks. So it says that something is wrong with line 5. So since there are no quotes, the value of lives should be a variable. But if we look through our code, the only variables we have are score and lives. So there's something wrong with this. Okay. So the value of score is, we want that to be written as is. It's supposed to be a line of text. But here we're writing the score. Score is a variable. So we should not have any quotation marks here. So it should say, and let's look at our image here. The value of score is 7. 7 corresponds to this, the value that was assigned to score. So if we want to literally print the value of score, we don't need to put quotation marks around it. We literally just put the variable name, and the computer is going to display whatever value is assigned to it. So that's our first error. Then we have the value of lives is. This is supposed to have quotes around it because it's a piece of text that needs to be printed. It needs to look like this. So this should have had quotes around it because this is not a variable name. It's a literal piece of text that needs to be printed to the screen. And then lives is supposed to read 20, and 20 corresponds to the value that was assigned to lives when we made the variable. So this should not have quotation marks around it, because we want the computer to actually display the value of the variable lives. So we will just literally write the variable name here without any quotation marks. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it again. And we get no errors down here, and our code looks exactly how it's supposed to look. So it says the value of score is 7, the value of lives is 20. Okay, so the moral of this bubble is for you to really understand when you need to put quotes in your write statements and when you need to literally write the name of the variable. Okay, if you want something to literally be printed word for word, you include it in quotes. If you're trying to display the value of a variable, you just write the name of the variable in the write statement.